So measures, you've got the shapes of the notes, whole notes for 4, half notes for 2, quarter notes for 1. And then you just have to remember, what was it again? Empty garbage before dad flips. E, G, B, D, F, counting up the lines, or F, A, C, E, counting up the spaces. And now you know how to read music. So now we're going to talk about holding the guitar. If you don't have your guitar with you, once again, you can pause the video here, grab your guitar, and if you have a pick, please get that too, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to hold the guitar and the pick. Now first of all, no matter what kind of guitar you have, it has a skinny part. And that skinny part is called the waist. You put that skinny part onto your right leg, not your left leg. Okay, your right leg. Now, if you don't have a pick for today, that's okay. You can just pluck the strings with your thumb. But please get a pick. It makes things sound better, it makes things easier, and some things you just can't play without it at all. Okay? So eventually, soon, you're going to need a pick. A pick is just a piece of plastic that looks kind of like a triangle. Now when you hold the pick, you hold it between your thumb and your index finger, so that the pointed part sticks out about halfway. Then you just bring your hand to the front of the guitar and point the pick right at the strings. And notice that my wrist and my arm are straight and close. You don't want to have your arm way out here or bent into any strange angles. You just want everything close to the guitar, not touching it, but very close. And one more thing with your right hand. Notice that my 2 small fingers, my pinky and my ring finger, are resting, they're touching on the front of the guitar, like that. That helps you to find where you are. It helps your hand to stay steady. Now later, in a couple more weeks, when we start talking about strumming, where you move your hand up and down, obviously then you won't put your fingers on the front. This is just for when you're playing notes. But since most of your mistakes are going to be from hitting the wrong string, putting your 2 fingers here will get rid of a lot of them. So, take a look at how I've got this hand, my 2 fingers on the front. Your middle finger doesn't do anything, it just hangs there, pointing the pick straight at the strings. Okay, now we're going to talk about the left hand. Now your left hand plays the guitar. It doesn't hold the guitar, okay? The neck will stay perfectly fine without you holding it. When you need to press down on the strings, which we'll talk about in a moment, you press down with the tip tops of your fingers, not the front. The tip tops of your fingers. If your fingernails are long, you will have to cut them. They will get in the way. But you're going to be pressing with the tops of your fingers straight down against the strings. Your thumb simply goes behind the neck. But the important thing to notice is that my hand isn't holding the neck. It isn't touching the neck. The palm of my hand is under. My fingers press the front, my thumb presses the back, and my hand hangs down. So you don't want to grab the neck. You don't want to choke the neck, just like you don't want to choke your own neck. Bleh. Okay? You just want to play the neck with the tips of your fingers. So, take a look at how I'm holding the guitar. Take a look at how my left hand presses down, how my right hand is nice and close, and try to copy, almost like you're looking in a mirror. Try to copy what you see me doing. You might want to have somebody look at you, because it's kind of hard to see yourself really well. You might want to have somebody watch you and see if they think that what you're doing is pretty close to this. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you will get better. And it will get more comfortable. I'm sure it feels really strange right now. That's totally normal, and it won't last long. You'll get very used to this. So that's how you hold the guitar. And keep an eye on yourself as best you can. I'll remind you of things. Okay, now you're going to learn your first 3 notes. Now you can either take a look on your sheet on page 2, where it says the first string, or you can take a look at my handy chart. Now the first string is the string on the bottom of the guitar. It's the one closest to the floor. It's the thin string, okay? Because it's thin, it has the highest pitch. Now I know that seems kind of backwards. Why would the string on the bottom have the highest pitch? I didn't invent it, it's just the way it is. But you are going to be learning the bottom string today, which is the first one. Now the first string is often called the E string. And the reason is because the note E, which you see first, is the note you get if you just pick the string. No left hand fingers. Try it. Just pick the bottom string downward, not too hard, with the pick. And it should sound something like that. Okay, that's an E. Try it again. Now, the reason it's an E is because of what I talked about a few minutes ago. E is on the top space. And remember we said you remember the spaces by saying F, A, C, E for face. And the little O you see down there stands for open. And open means you don't press down with your left hand at all. You don't touch the first string when you play an E. You don't touch it with your left hand, but you do pick it with the pick. And that's E. Okay? Now we're going to start to get your left hand involved. The next note you see is F. F is on the top line of the staff. Remember the reason why that is. We said that the notes on the lines, you remember by saying empty, garbage, before, dad. All right, who said yells? Not yells. Before, dad, flips, F. And the way you play an F, you still pick the same string, but now your left hand is going to get involved here. Okay? You're going to take your first finger. Your first finger is your pointer, your index finger. Your second finger is the middle. Your third finger is the ring. Your fourth finger is your pinky. You don't play with your thumb, so we don't count it. Okay, so you're going to take your first finger, your pointer. And we say that F is on the first fret. Now the fret is actually the little piece of steel. These little pieces of steel here are called frets. But when we say you play the first fret, we don't mean that you press down right on it. I'm going to move these other fingers out of the way. You don't have to do that when you play, just so you can see better. Right now, the note is not going to ring because I'm pressing down right on the fret. What you want to do is push it a little bit back, just a little tiny bit. Keep it close to the fret. And remember, you're playing with the tip tops of your fingers, so you want your first finger to be pressing down right about like that. You got to squeeze tight and try picking that, and you should hear this. Try it. You should hear that. Now, if you don't, if you hear a noise like this, a pingy, ringy sound like that, you're not pressing hard enough. You got to squeeze pretty tight. You will get used to that. Your fingers will get strong, your skin will get tough. It does for everybody. It might just feel kind of weird today, I understand, but you will get used to it. Okay, so try it again. There's an F. Now the last note we have is so high, it's actually above the staff. But as you can see, it's just the next letter in the alphabet. E, F, this has to be a G. It's the next step up, and it sits right on top. Okay? Now G is played on the third fret. 1, 2, 3, with your third finger. 1, 2, 3, your ring finger. So you want to put your ring finger right next to the third fret. I'm going to move my other fingers out of the way. You don't have to do that. In fact, don't do that. You can leave your fingers there. Okay? I'll just get mine out of the way. So your third finger presses right next to the third fret. Squeeze tight, and you should hear that. It's a higher note, and that's a G. That's all there is to it. So let's try each of those one more time. You've got E is open. You've got F on the first fret with the first finger, and then you've got G, third fret, third finger.